guys, welcome back. It's Didi with another episode of Beauty with a Twist. I'm so excited for this week's episode because we have a special guest. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Sabrina with Naked Skin by Brina, and I'm so excited to be here with you.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you. So I know you do waxing, right? Just
Yes.
waxing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know much about you, but I want to know more. So tell me about yourself.
Well, I am the coochie man.
Oh,
Like,
period.
or coochie queen, girl, whatever you want to say.
She's the coochie queen, okay? Period. So you just do Brazilians, right?
Only Brazilians and Vajacials.
Vajacials. Okay, so tell me how you started. Tell me about you.
So,
How long you been in the industry? All of that.
so I started waxing when I was actually 15, and I would just do myself and my friends.
What?
Okay, but I don't count it because I didn't know what I was doing, and I was fucking everybody up, okay, including myself. I didn't know what I was doing.
Kid from Amazon and everything?
Kid from Walmart, girl. Walmart. You put it in the microwave and heat it up. Yeah. Or the strips that like you have with your hands.
Oh my God.
I slapped that bitch on my coochie and ripped it off. I didn't know what I was doing. And then my friends let me do it too. So I started with that. And then I went to college for a little bit and I hated it. It was fucking boring.
Yeah.
So I decided to go to beauty school. And I just fell in love with the waxing aspect of it. I used to do facials. I used to do everything like that. But then I just, I love coochies.
Yeah. Coochie was my calling, for real.
It was my calling. I was born to do this.
So you started doing your friends, right?
Mhm.
And then did you know at that moment you were like, okay, I want to get into like pure waxing, or like when you started doing facials, like, because you know how like people go to esthetician school and they kind of go a different route. Like people that do lashes, we're going into like waxing now. Like they kind of like, once they hit school, it's kind of like they venture out to different things. Was that something for you?
So I had actually started going to school to do lashes. My lash girl,
Mhm.
I forgot her name. Ladyface Beauty. She had talked to me about going to school. My mom had also mentioned it. And I was like, okay, I'll do lashes. And she was like, I'll give you my clients. And I was like, whoa, that's really unheard of
Yeah.
for someone to train you and then offer to give you their clients.
Yeah.
So that's why I initially went. I've never done lashes a day in my life. And I love the waxing part. When I would do facials, I didn't understand the energetic exchange that you get when doing facials. And I started having some crazy fucking experiences where I would know things about my clients, or I would like see, like, I don't even know how to explain it, but it was so overwhelming for me because I didn't understand what it was. And I didn't understand how I was feeling all these things. But
You were feeling them.
I was picking up on their energy and I thought that it was mine. And
Yeah.
I thought I was going fucking crazy because I was like, this has never happened to me before. Why am I seeing this? Who is this in my head?
Yes.
And I stopped doing I stopped doing facials
Do you
because
think
of it.
you were feeling that because you were touching them?
Yeah.
With your bare hands, right?
With the skin to skin contact,
Yes.
the meditative state that you're in, the music I was
Yes.
playing, and I'm a very sensitive person energetically. So I was just taking all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to stop doing it because I started getting so sad. I was like, my life is pretty good. I'm so sad right now.
Why the fuck am I so sad at 3 p.m. in the afternoon right now? Like, yeah. And you know what? I've never talked about this on my podcast, but I feel that energy too.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of it, like, I'm a Cancer. I'm into zodiac signs. I'm into like all that shit. Okay, I'm into crystals. Okay, and I'm a very sensitive person, but I also pick up on people's energy, and I pick up on like, even when a person walks in the door, I could just feel it.
Yeah.
You know, I have crystals all around my shop, girl. They're hidden, but I have them here. I be saging, have my incense. Okay?
You have to.
I have to. So
Yeah.
I feel people's energy. And sometimes I go up home and I'm really upset.
Yeah.
And I just don't know why. But I started getting Reikis done. I started getting cleanses done. And that's really helped me.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was a point, and this is so funny that you brought it up. There was a point where I was just like fighting with my boyfriend more.
Yeah.
And I just didn't know why. And it wasn't because like there was a reason. It was just because I was feeling it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's so funny. And that's not spoken about a lot enough.
It's honestly one of the biggest parts, at least for me,
Mhm.
because even though I have the gloves,
Yeah.
even though I have done like protective measures for myself, I've actually learned more about energy work and spirituality and things like that because I work on the most sensitive part of the body. It holds the most amount of trauma. And I have had to literally be able to close myself off so I don't pick up on this information that my client didn't tell me, because I would know things.
Yeah.
So I had to learn how to close myself off so I wasn't just taking all this information, taking all this energy, and then I talk about that stuff with my clients while they're on the table.
Wow.
So it's a whole different experience because here you are, butt ass naked, talking to this random girl about
whatever
the most
happened.
traumatic things that have happened. You know, I go with the vibe, I go with how my clients feel and whatever, but it's been one of the biggest things that I've had to learn how to, I don't want to say protect myself, but just keep that boundary for my client's sake.
Yes.
So it's a very...
It's kind of like, and you know what though? Your clients trust you. So that's how you know though, like they're opening up to you, obviously, and physically and emotionally, but like, you don't know what a person goes through down there. You don't know what they've been through down there. So that's true that you are kind of opening that. And plus, I feel like when you get a Brazilian done, especially like, you're just like, your loyal clients, okay, whatever. They come in with the coochie open. But let's say if it's a first timer, like they're really like nervous.
Yeah.
You know?
I actually, the first time I ever got waxed like professionally, I was 18 and I had a pretty shitty experience and I felt really uncomfortable. The lady didn't even talk to me. And I was like, fuck that. I'm never doing that again.
Yeah.
But in having that experience, I understood how important it is to create that safe environment for your client, because some people haven't even seen their own parts in the light, let alone a random stranger that you just met, or someone that you found off Instagram, or someone that you found off TikTok. And it's like, okay, I'm just going to be naked right here in front of you. You have to be super understanding and respectful of whatever each individual client needs at that space.
And especially too, like whatever happens in your room, in your treatment room, stays there because it's a safe place for them. Like you're obviously like, you know, the stories, like if you ever go through something traumatic, like if, you know, if it smells or whatever, it's just keep it to yourself. And you know, that's
all
part
girls.
Of the
job description.
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
I get girls that come in like, oh, I'm sorry, like I'm on my period, I'm wearing a tampon. I'm like, girl, this is like another day on the job for me. Like you open those legs, okay?
Give me your Gucci.
Yeah, give me your Gucci. So you went to school. And then while you were going to school, were you waxing?
I was. So I would go to school all day and I would pretty much wax all day. I was even teaching the girls in school how to wax while my part, they were learning like chemical peels and facial stuff. I was like in the other room teaching the girls how to do Brazilians.
Oh, so how did you learn your method? Like who taught you how to do your method? Or was it yourself? Or like how did you come up with it?
Me, yeah. So I learned the basic technique for waxing. Yeah. And then, you know, throughout the years, I kind of developed my own way to do it. One of the craziest things is, so I wax, at least uniquely to what I know, because I've never seen anyone do it that way. But a couple years ago, I was in a really abusive relationship and my ex had broken my thumb. And I had this huge cast on my arm that I would wax with 2 fingers. And I had my clients wrap my cast in saran wrap and help me put the glove on. And then I would wax them.
Oh, you're dedicated.
The positions that I had them in at first, I couldn't fit my cast into. So I'd have to put them in different positions or do different things. And I was like, oh my God, this is so much easier. So I continue with that technique. But had I not broken my fucking thumb, I wouldn't have developed this technique.
And do you think it's way faster with your technique?
Hell yeah. Oh my gosh. And it's so a lot more thorough. I get in there. I'll be like anything I need to do, any position I need to put them in. Like my face is like right there, right at there. So I can see whatever I need to see.
That's crazy.
I get all up in there. I have a job. They know what they come for. And I'll make sure there's no hair.
So okay. So after, when you were during school, you were doing wax and then you were working from home. Did you stay was it at your parents' house? Was it at your house? Like,
it's at the house that I grew up in.
Okay.
My mom moved out when I was younger. My dad and I lived there. And then he moved out and he lives with his girlfriend now. And now it's just my brother and I. He has like half the house. I have the other half. Yeah. But he also does social media. So he does YouTube and he has like 70,000 followers or subscribers on YouTube. And he does everything through there. His thing's like Casual Cooper. So it's
Shout
super
out to
cute.
him.
Yeah. So he does that on that half the house, and then I have my half of the house. So
you still work from home?
I do. I love it.
Yeah. Because I feel like a lot, especially because you're so big in the industry, and I feel like I haven't had someone, as big working from home, and I feel like it was so the norm to work from home back during COVID.
Yeah.
So how are people now? Like everything's open. Are they like, you have your regulars, but do you ever get new clients that feel like a certain way that you're from home?
None that has said anything to me.
Yeah.
Every time people come in, well, my house is very nice. And then I have a separate entrance. We have a separate bathroom.
Oh, so it's all separate.
It's all separate. And then every time people come in, they're like, oh my gosh, this is so nice. Because, it's really nice. So I've never had anybody question it or not be comfortable.
Yeah.
I really think that it just depends on the person that you're with and
the cleanliness and how
the cleanliness, of course.
Yeah.
And it's very private. And a lot of people have told me that they like it more because they don't feel like they're at a gynecologist. They feel like they're hanging out with their friend.
Period. Yeah.
And it's just cozy and comfortable. And I love it. I've thought about, branching and doing other things, but I just don't want to. Like,
you know what? I wouldn't. Straight the fuck up. I wouldn't. I loved working from home. I loved, it just felt so homey, but also so like I was saving a lot of money.
Yeah. Yes.
And that's just a fucking point. Okay. I was saving my bank account looked way nicer than what it looks now. Okay. So I personally loved working from home. I loved being solo. And until the fact that now I have, a salon and everything, it's a lot. I could tell I'm aging more. I'm 26, girl, but I really like my roots. For real, I'm hiding them. Like I had to spray paint my hair.
Dude,
okay?
I'm literally getting gray hairs. And I'm like, I'm 24.
Girl, I'm fucking aging, okay? Like I have to go to sleep with the back like a heating pad. Okay.
No.
For real.
Do you have a driving pillow, girl? Do you put in the reservoir?
Stop, don't put me on. No, but it's to the point where I feel like I'm aging because I'm stressed. So if I can go back to being solo, I would. Am I not grateful for it? I'm obviously grateful for what I have, and I love what I have. But it's just like, and I tell anybody that wants to be a business owner, make sure that that that's the right path for you. Yeah,
I think it's also different because I've never had any experience other than where I'm at. I literally never worked anywhere. Well, I had other jobs, but in this industry, I never worked for anybody. I never worked with anybody.
Yeah,
I went to school and I was still in school taking clients, and then I just wasn't at school anymore, passed state board, and then I continued staying there. I was also a full-time nursing student when I first started too.
Oh.
And I was going to school because I wanted to be a medical esthetician. Things didn't happen that way because my social media blew the fuck up. And I was like,
need to ask you about that. Yes.
Girl, that happened on accident. Overnight, literally overnight.
So let's go back. In the beginning, did you like already have this clientele? Like, or you kind of were like, because there's a lot of people struggling to gain that clientele. So were you one of them? Like, were you kind of like not necessarily struggling, but not having as many clients?
Honestly, I never had the problem because I was always posting everything. And I would take people when I was still in school. I always had people in and out of school. Like you can ask anybody I went to school with. I always had people coming. One of the biggest things that I tell my clients who are starting their own business is when you're in the beginning and when you're starting, charge fucking shit. Like don't charge a lot. My Brazilians were $15. Okay. If I even charged, because I knew that it was more important to get the experience and to get my word out and be like, okay, bring your friends. Like if you bring someone, I'll do it for free. And then I wasn't making a lot of money, but my name was starting to circulate. And also I didn't have the pressure to do that great because I was just fucking starting. I didn't know what I was doing still. I was developing my technique. So if someone didn't like it, I'm like, it was $10. Like, you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
So that gave me a really good cushion to be able to fuck it up or to be able to learn or take a really long time. Because I've always been super honest. I've always been super clear with like, look, I'm just starting out. I don't really know what I'm doing. I started in my bedroom on the floor. My wax machine was on a box, an Amazon box, and I had a blanket, or not even a blanket. It was a towel and a pillow from my bed. And I told my clients, the people that were coming, I'm like, hey, it's really ghetto. You're going to be on the floor.
Oh
my wax machine is on a box.
gosh.
Is it okay? Like, are you down? Hell yeah, girl. $10? Like, nobody fucking cared. I've never had any issue
Are those
with
people
that.
still with you?
They're still with me. They're still with me.
Shout out to them.
We have upgraded, girl.
Yeah. Shout out. That's crazy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you've been through it all. You've been through like
The stages.
the stages.
Yeah. Everybody starts somewhere. And that's also the thing that I tell people when they're starting something is like, don't be ashamed of you just starting out. You're not going to be the best when you just start. You have to learn.
Yeah.
And the way to keep yourself in the place where you're like, okay to learn is to do free services, to practice on people, to do models. Because in the beginning, it's not necessarily about, let me get this money. It's, okay, let me perfect my craft. What do I actually want to do? How do I do this? Because when you're in school, you learn very basic techniques, if any technique.
Yeah.
Because it's all about passing your state board. After, you learn in the field. But because I didn't go anywhere else, I had to just make it up as I went along. I would ask my clients what they wanted. I would think about what I wanted. And then I just went from there. So it was trial and error for everything that I've done.
Yeah. And then your social media just happened overnight. Like, how did you do it?
So I was posting everything that I was doing. Like whatever, I just posted it to get myself out there, to get in the algorithm.
Yeah.
I don't even know how it works. I don't even care. And I was posting it. And I love to remove ingrowns. So I was removing an ingrown and I was like, can I record this? And my client was like, yeah, go ahead. So I recorded it and I did a little like bullshit ass audio voiceover. And I was like, whatever, I'll post it on TikTok. Posted it on TikTok. When I woke up, well, I had 46 followers, okay? When I woke up, the video had 2.9 million views and I had 10,000 followers. By the end of the week, I had 100,000 followers. And within a couple months, I had 1 million followers.
Over that video?
Over the fucking video. And then I started recording all the time. And then almost every one of my videos when I first started out was hitting millions and millions and millions. It would be my cat eating a hot Cheeto and 5 million views. I was like, what the hell?
I don't understand TikTok, but yes, that's how it works.
Yeah. So it just literally blew up overnight. And then I got a lot of clients and everybody wanted to come and people were coming in.
I seen you from TikTok.
Yes.
I did this and that. Yes.
But I started when I was 19. And then by the time I got my license and everything, I was 20 and I was still 20 years old. So people would come in and like, how long have you been doing this? I'm like, girl, like 3 months, if that. I'm like, I don't know. I don't even know how to do this really. Like,
oh my gosh, I'm dead.
So I had taken everybody. I was like, you know what? Yeah, let's do it. I took everybody. I booked myself out for 2 months. And I was like, oh shit. Oh, whatever. Like, they won't all come back. They all came back. Which is great. Thank you guys. But what the fuck? Because you're supposed to get waxed every 4 weeks.
Yes.
And I couldn't get my clients back for 7 or 8 weeks. So I finally got it down and I condensed it to 6 weeks. And I found that 6 weeks with waxing is the fucking best. It is the prime spot because you're not having those little hairs that are still there at 4 weeks.
Yes.
You get a clean wax every time. You save your money. You don't have to go through it as often. You do have to grow it out a little bit longer. But as it goes on, it goes less. It gets less and less. And overall, it's just, you get a clean wax every time. Like, you don't want to be done. And then 2 days later, the little hairs that weren't long enough to be waxed, you can't get out, you know?
Yeah. So at that point, when you were booked out for 2 months, you were working 6 days a week?
I was working 5 to 6 days a week, about 10 hours a day. It still took me a little bit longer to complete the services because I was doing like wax and vajacials. And I was still kind of developing a technique and I was finding out the products that worked and finding out how long it takes. And then I was having new clients every time. When you have a new client, you don't know what
they look like down there.
You don't know what's coming in. You don't know if you need like to cut it. You don't know what you do.
Yeah.
You don't know how the client's going to react. You don't know how their skin's going to be. So it was very virgin Brazilian every time.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit different to do a virgin than someone who's been getting waxed.
Yes.
So yeah, I was working a lot.
So now,
Now,
fast forward. Still at the same place.
Mhm.
We ramped. How many days do you work?
I work about 2 to 3 days a week, still seeing the same amount of clients. I got faster with what I did.
Mm-hmm.
I bumped up my prices.
So we went from $10 to what now?
$100 for a Brazilian, and then $150 for a wax and vajacial.
I need to fucking sip my wine. Keep going. I never question someone's pricing. We had a last video. She charges $60 for brow wax. And I was like, that's not expensive. We got hated on that video, by the way. We got kind of canceled, but not really. Some people agreed, others disagreed. Like a lot of men. Why the fuck would you pay $60 for a brow wax?
Because you get what you pay for.
Exactly. So she had said the word luxury brows though, and it's kind of a whole different thing. So someone's price is someone's price because of what you put in to the service, like what products you use, the service that you're getting out of it, as in like your craft. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? The way you do it. Yeah, even though you're fast, like people know that you're good at it.
Yeah.
This is like the only thing that you do. And then there's this quote that this lady says. She was like, in order to make, $1 million or more dollars, to be a millionaire, you have to find one thing that you're really, really good at and perfect it. Mm-hmm. So that right there is like you charging that price because, you perfected this craft your own.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm. So even though I can work very fast, I take my time with each client. Mm-hmm. I can do a wax in 10 minutes, but I do give longer than that. The biggest thing is that I will sit there and tweeze. I go all the way in, all the way back, and I will sit there and tweeze all the little hairs, which in school they actually taught us not to tweeze, because in the time that it takes for you to tweeze, you can fit in another wax. And I was like, well, fuck that, because then you're leaving everybody with some
little janky hair there. Yeah.
And I didn't like that. So I take my time to tweeze. I take my time to remove the ingrowns. I take my time to go over whatever concerns my client has. And I also want to make sure that I go at a pace that my client is comfortable with. So when they're new clients, I do move a little bit slower, and I explain everything that I'm doing as I'm doing it for the first wax. Even if you've been waxed before, your first time with me, I'll tell you what products I'm using. I tell you what I'm doing. I tell you where it's going to hurt. I tell you where it's not going to be too bad. So then you know what to expect. And I'm not just like touching you, and I'm not just, because I do touch whatever I have to touch. I go wherever I have to go, but I'm going to tell you what I'm doing I'm going to tell you why I'm doing it. So I think it's the care that I put in with each one of my clients. And I genuinely want to know about them. I genuinely want to help. I genuinely want to talk to them. Like, I love what I do, not just because I make good money, but because I love talking to people and I love meeting my clients. It's like I could cry. I love it so much.
Yeah. So you feel like you just connect with them on a different level. So
completely different level.
So that's why you charge what you charge, because of that. And I feel like also too, like a lot of people don't understand. And this is another podcast that we had. Like, we are more friends with our clients than our actual friends.
Yeah.
Like they know more about us than our own friends do, because they're kind of like strangers, but not strangers. Like we feel like it's like they won't judge us because we won't judge them. They won't judge us.
Yeah.
So
my clients, it's funny. They'll like ask a question. They're like, wait, can I ask this? I'm like, girl, I'm in your coochie. You can ask whatever you want. Whatever you want to. I'm looking at your butthole right now. Whatever you want to know about me, I'll tell you.
None needs to chest. They're all freaking open, and you're like, yeah, girl, you can ask whatever you want.
Literally, I tell them, like I told you, don't ask me something you don't want to know, because I'll tell you.
Yes. So so $100 for Brazilian, $150 for the Vajacial. How did you come up with the method of a Vajacial? Because I feel like we can't put a lot of things down there because, it's just bad for us. Sensitive.
Yeah. So I do the top portion. I don't do like the bottom area unless there's like ingrowns that I need to remove.
Okay.
And then the lightning mask is the only thing that I put on the bottom, but on the outside. So the top area, it's just skin. And I use only facial products on this area. Mm-hmm. So our teacher back in school was teaching us how to do men's facials. And with men's facials, you have to remove ingrowns and do all these things. At the time, I was struggling really bad with ingrowns on my coochie. And I didn't know that other people had that too. So I was so self-conscious and I was so embarrassed. And I was like, fuck, can you do this on other parts of the body? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, can you like do this on vaginas?
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, you can, but you don't want to. And I was like, why? And she was like, nobody would pay for that. And I was like, I would. And I was like, okay. She was a little bit older, you know?
Yeah.
But I was like, no, I would. So I started learning more about products and things that worked. I did a lot of trial and error on myself. And I finally figured out. So it's still the same facial method. I don't do a massage. But still,
sorry, don't come up with a handy ending. Uh-huh.
It's still the same method with like cleansing, exfoliating, extraction. I do the tweezing. I do the mask, aloe, moisturize, everything like that. And well, I do aloe because it's a wax. But I like exfoliation with steam. I don't know if I said that, but I do all those things. And I haven't had any adverse reactions. I've known thousands of people, and sometimes you get people who have a reaction.
It's
to
normal though.
the wax.
That. Yeah.
But I've never had someone message me with concerns. I've never had anybody be like, "Hey, what the fuck?" It's never happened. I also, of course, always ask if they have any allergies or sensitivities to anything, and then I'll go based on that. But I found that using the facial products, although more expensive, they're so much better for your skin.
Medical grade is always the best, yes.
Right. Because it's more sensitive. Your face is more sensitive. Right here is more sensitive. We just did a wax. So you need some more stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't had any problems.
So, because, you know, a lot of people want to learn how to do vajacials, but I feel like they're just using like an exfoliator or whatever the case is. So that's not like, there's never like, I don't feel like there's an in-depth class for that. Because they don't teach you that in school, girl. They don't teach you how to freaking slap on a freaking facial on your vagina. Are you kidding me? So you only do Brazilians, vajacials. You said sometimes underarms.
Yeah, I'll do it as add-on services. So because the time that it takes to do underarms or a back or a stomach is the same time that it would take me to do a Brazilian. I'm not going to charge $100 for a stomach. So as a business aspect, it has to be an add-on service because I at least make $200 an hour, at least. So it has to stay with that for the business aspect of me. I don't use as much product to wax a coochie that it would be for a whole back or for legs. I do not do legs. I do not do arms.
Why not brows?
So I am my own test dummy. Okay. And I have fucked my brows up so many times or ripped my skin off that I'm like, fuck that. I'm not about to do other people's things.
Yeah.
If I take all the hair off, great. This, I don't want to fuck up your face. Like, you're going to look at my social media and be like, oh, and then I'm like, dude, I've done like 10 brows in my life. So fuck that. Hell no. I'll leave it to the brow girls.
Yeah, leave it to the brow girls. Do you have clients that ask you for the landing strip?
So I have sometimes, but I'm very I give them a disclaimer. I'm like, okay, it might end up crooked. It might end up really bad. And if it does, we're just going to go bald because
at that point, I'm sorry. I can't do that straight ass line.
I'll sit there and like tweeze it. So then it's like nice and straight.
Yeah.
I've done it twice. And I've waxed girl tens of thousands of times.
And what about men? Do you wax men?
Not anymore. So in the beginning, when I took everybody, I was like, yeah, let's be inclusive. I want to take men at every service that I can do for a woman. I can do it on a man. So, I mean, it's only
what
normal.
happened?
It's only normal for them to get like erect and then soft and then hard and then soft. You know, it's okay.
Yes.
But I was doing this wax one time and this guy like grabbed my ass.
What?
And I was like, what the fuck? I charge way more for that? No, just kidding.
I need a big tip, okay?
I was like, nope, I'm done. Like, I'm not doing that.
Dead.
And then, like another side reason, I also had an OnlyFans for a while.
Okay.
And I didn't want people from my OnlyFans to come for like services.
Oh.
So I was like, let's just do girls. So I stopped doing that. So I don't do men anymore. So I'll do like if my client has a boyfriend and they come with him, or then I'll do it.
Yeah.
But I'm very much like
particular on who you decide.
Very particular. Yeah.
I also read on your Instagram that you're known for doing plus size.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's something different because I don't see that a lot on people's. I know that people obviously take plus size, but I don't see that on someone's bio, like how you have it.
So I didn't know that there was a difference when I first started waxing because I wasn't taught any different until I had my first plus size client. And I had to do it a little bit differently. I have to have in different positions or use different things, right? Which I just had to kind of figure it out on the fly. Then I just learned, and it wasn't a big deal. I had one of my clients, she had just come to me, it was her first time, and she was crying on the table, and she was like, "Thank you so much." And I was like, "What? Like, why?" And she was like, "The first time I had ever gone to get a wax, the girl turned me away, and she was like, 'You didn't tell me you were overweight,' and sent her away." And I was like, I literally started crying, and I was like, "What the fuck? Like, how could someone say that?" I mean, I understand if you don't know how to do it, then that's one thing.
But keep your fucking comments to yourself, bitch. First of all. Yeah, for real.
So she didn't get waxed for years until she comes with me now. So I made it a point to put out there that I do specialize in plus size waxing because a lot of times they're insecure or they don't know if they do it because that's not an uncommon occurrence, unfortunately. So the majority of my newer clients are plus sized because I know how to do it and because it's a safe space for you to be here. And I don't give a fuck how anything looks, how
coochie is coochie. Okay,
exactly.
All coochies matter. All right.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. So yeah, I really want to make it a point to have SDs learn how to do plus size waxing and understand that everybody should be able to have whatever services that they want to have because as much as you want to feel beautiful, so does the next person.
Yeah.
As much as you want to feel, I don't want to say clean, but that clean feel, so does the next person.
Yes.
And some of my plus size clients can't do it themselves.
Yes.
They can't get there. So they have to rely on someone else to do it. And being that vulnerable with anybody is very difficult to do. So as an esthetician or as a beauty service provider or whatever, you have to take into account things that I don't experience that. I don't know what that's like. But that doesn't mean that I shouldn't be sympathetic for someone that does know what it's like and has had to deal with that their whole life. Like I cry about it because it makes me so sad for them. Yeah. So
we cried on the podcast. Hold on, a little tear coming out of my eyes.
Sorry.
No, but it's true though. You know, like some people don't feel comfortable about going to like certain people just because, you know, they don't know like how they're gonna, you know, react to how they look down there, or you know what I mean? Because some can be darker, whatever reason it is, I know someone will feel insecure for that. You know? So that's good. And that caught my attention on your Instagram because I've never read that before.
Oh, thank you.
So I was like, oh my gosh, like that is so like, that's crazy. That's good because like I've never seen that.
Well, thank you.
You know? So do you feel like you will ever like maybe like, are you open to teaching a class? Because I know there's a lot of females in the industry that would love to learn how to do that method with plus size.
Right.
You know?
Yes, I am. I haven't gotten to the place where I'm doing that just because I've had a lot of things in my personal life going on.
Yes, we're going to talk about it.
So I have definitely thought about it. I have a lot of inquiries coming. I'm sure I'll do a masterclass for already licensed estheticians. Yeah. Just because I don't want my name tied to something that like someone could hurt someone by not knowing what they're doing. So I've been very slow to doing that. But yeah, I definitely see myself doing that in the future.
Yeah. So you mentioned how you're going through a lot, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like, again, it's not spoken enough in this industry about like your work and your personal life. And for me, I've learned how to separate it. So I don't let my clients feel that energy that I'm going through something. But I'm a fucking cancer girl. I really go in the restroom and I bawl my eyes out and I'm like, okay, you're a bad bitch. Let's get back out there, you know? Because they're coming in here to feel relaxed when they get a facial. They're feeling, you know, they want to come and talk about how they're feeling.
Yeah.
So how do you, you know, have your work, how you balance both, like your personal life, especially what you went through?
So with, I always say that my job is not my life. My job is what sustains my life. However, there's a lot of life that happens. And I'm very honest with my clients. So I do share the things that go on in my life as they share it with me, because I've learned that when you're able to connect with someone and see someone like me that's going through the same shit you're going through, it makes you feel seen. It makes you feel understood. And as I'm learning how to get over these obstacles, I share that with my clients. And then I help them with, whatever they're going through, because I'm giving, even on my social media, I'm very forthcoming with what I go through, because someone needs to see that, because I didn't have anybody. I mean, my family, but I'm talking about in a social media aspect. I didn't have anybody showing the fucking real shit that happens.
Yeah.
So I show good, bad, and ugly. I don't give a fuck, because I know someone needs to see it and someone needs to hear it. And I'm going through the process of getting over things or navigating my way through life, just like everybody else. Yeah. It doesn't matter if I have this social media account. It doesn't matter if I have this amount of money in my bank account. I'm still going through life things.
Yes.
So I'm going to continue. God put me in this place for a reason.
Yeah.
He put me in these situations for a reason. And if it's to help even one person, then it's fucking worth it.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm very honest with my clients and we talk about everything.
So when you were going through that, like because you said, how long ago was it?
Okay, so there's like two different times.
The whole thumb one got me, okay? Like, first of all.
That was like my first ex. That was 2 years ago. And I would literally be on the floor crying. Not with my client, but on the floor, bawling my eyes out, crying. And my client would text me, I'm here. And I just,
yeah.
And then go. And there have been times where I'm full blown crying as I'm waxing. And I tell my client, I'm like, I'm so sorry, I'm going through it today, but I'm still going to do your service. And they're like, are you okay?
Yeah.
I'm like, girl, you came for a reason. I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm going to cry, but I'm going to do it. And I get the job done. Might be uncomfortable. Every single client that I've ever done that with has come back, and we have a relationship, because I don't like this is professional. Like, yes, we're professional, but I'm a person. You're a person, and I'm going to treat you like a person first. I'm not going to treat you like my check. I'm not going to treat you like just my client. You're a person first, and I'm a person first.
And that's why I act myself. I be fucking cussing, girl. Okay, I be like, I don't know. I'm a little street hood too. Okay, so that's I could feel that. Like, my clients know me. I always ask them, "What's one thing I say?" You always say, "Hey, boo." I'm like, "Hey, boo." That's just me. Yeah. So I get that.
Hi, welcome for your appointment.
Yes,
girl. Take your pants off. Let's
go. So that's where you were going through that. That was your first ex.
That was my first, yes. And then like my now recent one is I was about to be engaged. Just got my engagement ring. I was making plans to move away. So I was gonna be kind of traveling back every so often to take some clients, but then I was gonna start completely new. And now I'm single again. It felt like a bomb went off and burned everything around me. But with all the things that I've learned from my first breakup and all the things that I've learned just about life, I'm okay. And that's one of the things that I try to talk to my clients about. And it's like, they're like, how are you? I'm like, well, my life just blew up, but I'm okay. And this is how I did it. This is what I do. And I tell, like, journaling, reading, praying. I don't know if we could talk about that, but praying, yes. And just finding positive things to do. I talk to my clients. I'm like, did you journal? Have you gotten your journal? I'll message them. Someone will be on my heart when I'm praying, and I message my client. I don't care what time it is. I'm like, hey, you're on my mind. Is everything okay? And then boom, so I mean, we're kind of jumping around, but like the things that I'm learning, I'm teaching as I'm doing it. And I feel like I'm here to be an example. I'm here to teach other people more than just about waxing, more than just about whatever, about this fucked up shit happens. Nobody wants to talk about it. I'm going to fucking talk about it. Yeah. Because I've learned with having my clients that we're all going through the same shit. And I didn't know that until I was in everybody's butthole. Until I was there. Then everybody tells you everything. And I was like, oh my God, I'm not alone. Yeah. And I have the honor to have this experience because I have all these clients. But every client that comes in, they only have the experience with me. They don't know all the shit that I know. So I share my experience with them because of how much they have changed me by sharing their experiences with me. It's only right that I'm like, hey, we're the same. I am no better than you. You are no better than me. And we're learning together.
Yeah.
So it's so much more than just, I'm just a waxer, or this is just a beauty industry. Like, no, this is
so much more.
So much more.
Yeah. And I feel like for what you went through with your first ex and your fiance, like, it's so relatable.
Yeah.
And I feel like that right there, when you can relate to a client so much and on a deeper level, other than just like, hey girl, how was work? And you connect with them on a much, because there's clients I know so much about me, girl, like too much, you know? I know about them, but they know so much about me, you know? And they ask me and they'll check up on me. And the thing is, when they text me that too, I'm like, damn, they fucking care.
Yeah.
You know, there's one person that I know that cares about me because they're texting me. Just how you're texting your clients, I have people texting me, hey, are you okay?
Yeah.
And even when clients come and see me sometimes, I'm like, they ask me, hey, are you good? I'm like, hanging by a thread, bitch. But I'm here. I'm living. I'm thriving. I could breathe, so I'm okay.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So even that simple, like, asking, like, are you okay, goes a long way, because it can show, like, it can break down, you know?
Yeah. There was a point where, so I always hug my clients, always. And there was a point for like 2 months, and you can ask any one of my fucking clients, where at the end of the service, all the time, I ask, can I give you a hug? And I hold them, right? Every single client broke down in tears, and they were like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And I would grab them until they let go, because I just knew, like, you just need a hug right now. And nobody does that. Nobody does this. And it was like the craziest thing, because every single fucking client would cry. And I was like, come here.
I got you. Yeah. And it's crazy because you even if you're going through it, you're still like that. And I've never like had a person on my podcast that's such like as open as you are.
Oh, thank you.
Like, they're open about like the whole business aspect, and we talk about this and that, but I've never had someone so like, you know, bring up their personal life into it, you know? So speaking about like how you're open with your clients goes it's a long, you know, goes a long way.
Thank you.
So props to that. I want to know something else before time runs out. I want to know some advice that you would give on an upcoming waxer, you know, like an upcoming esthetician, someone that's in the industry that wants to be like Sabrina. She wants to be like Naked Skin by Brina. Okay, bitch. She wants to be working 2 days. She wants to be working 20 clients a day. What is some advice that what is advice that you can give like your younger self, you know, like
to absolutely follow your heart and what makes you happy to do. So the way that I found this was when I had broken up with my first ex. I completely lost myself. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know anything about what I like because I like it, or what I like because he likes it. Mm-hmm. And then I thought deeper, and I was like, oh, fuck. I've never known anything about myself. I don't know what I like because I like it, or what I like because someone else told me to like it.
You lost yourself.
So I asked myself 3 questions. And I'm going to ask you these same 3 questions.
Oh my God, stop. Never got put on the spot. Okay.
What is your favorite color? That when you see this color, it makes you feel happy.
Orange.
What is your favorite song or artist that no matter what kind of day you're having, this song comes on and you feel happy?
Georgia Smith.
Yeah. What is your favorite food that when you eat this food, you just feel so happy and fulfilled?
Japanese food.
Mm-hmm. Okay. When you see the color orange, does it make you feel the way you feel when you listen to Georgia Smith?
I've never thought about that. So maybe.
When you listen to Georgia Smith, does it make you feel the way you feel when you eat Japanese food?
Oh yeah, girl. I would probably, yes, absolutely.
And when you eat Japanese food, does it make you feel the way you feel when you see the color orange?
Probably. Yeah.
So those are the things that you like just because you like them. At the time, for me, it was pink, Doja Cat, and pasta. So it's not Doja Cat anymore, but for the sake of explanation, I didn't know shit about myself, but I knew how I felt when I saw the color pink. I knew how I felt when I listened to Doja Cat, and I knew how I felt when I ate pasta. So I was like, okay, do I feel pink, Doja Cat, and pasta with him? No, I don't. So I left. In my work, do I feel pink Doja Cat and pasta? Hell yeah. I love this shit. So I took that and I was like, okay, whatever I feel pink Doja Cat and pasta is what I'm supposed to do because it just makes me happy. So if you're getting into an industry, whether it be the beauty industry or anything else, if it doesn't make you feel the way your favorite color, your favorite song, and your favorite food makes you feel, get the fuck out of it because you don't like it and you're not supposed to be there and you will be miserable.
Damn.
So
all I'm going to be thinking about is Orange George Smith and Japanese food for real. Because that was so fucking deep.
I was on shrooms and I figured that out. But I was like, damn, you go, girl. That's some good shit.
Now I'm fucking high as fuck thinking about that shit. But that's true, though. That's some good advice to tell someone that's like upcoming or wants to be in the industry to make sure that they love it.
Yeah, because we're not taught how to learn about ourselves.
Yeah.
We're not taught how to find out the things that we like because we like it. We're taught to put on an image to get liked or to be what someone else wants you to be.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Find out who you are. What makes your coochie tingle? Because if it doesn't make your coochie tingle, you don't want to do it.
For reals. Or stop comparing yourself to another account. I think that's another thing.
I don't even look at other accounts because of that. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's true though. Like, don't compare yourself to another account. Don't compare yourself like, oh, she's doing this, so I'm going to be doing this. You know what I mean? Like,
I think it's good to get ideas on what to do, but never compare someone else's success to your own. Because you have no fucking idea what they're going through.
Yeah.
What they're going through.
Your biggest inspiration is probably the fuck struggling. She's just not posting what she wants to post on social media. People only post on social media what they want you to see, not the reality of it.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So I feel like all these scammers and trying to post like, oh, I'm making $100,000. Okay, that's great for you. Is that after taxes? Because
and how do you feel about yourself? Because you might have all this money, but do you like yourself?
The most saddest people are the most richest.
Because you try to fill that hole. That's what I would do. I would buy all the designer. I would buy all the things that I wanted. And then I had all this shit. I looked fantastic. And I was like, well, I feel like shit. This doesn't mean anything that we give it credit for.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean shit.
Yeah.
What means shit is who you are.
Period.
And how you feel and what you put into the world. That's what matters. Not about how much money you have. Not about what kind of car you drive. Not about any of that shit.
Yeah, I always say I'm the fucking Adam Sandler girl. I drive a regular basic ass car, but it's because I invest something into what I want.
Yeah.
You know, a house. I think about my future. I don't think about all these designer things. You know what I mean? Because I love materialistic and that's how I used to be.
Yeah.
But I look at something else, you know? And I love that you're the same way.
Yeah. I definitely have all the designer stuff. I have, you know.
Girl, same. But you know what? I pick and choose when I want to splurge.
Yeah. And that's not where I hold my value.
Yeah.
That's what I've understood is like, yeah, I have this stuff. Yes, I use this stuff. Yes, I wear this stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, sometimes I do want to buy this stuff. But my value isn't the fact that I have a Louis Vuitton or I drive a Tesla or whatever. That's not
you worked hard the fuck hard for it, girl. So guess what? You deserve it. You wax coochies 30 girls a day. She needs
30,
it.
I wish.
She needs a fucking Tesla. All right?
A Tesla to get to my home base job.
She just needs it parked in front of her fucking house to show that she has a Tesla. So you're working 2 days and all your finances. Like another question I have is, are you saving it for something bigger or because you're not spending so much on rent per se, right?
Yes. No, I'm not. I have been saving for a house since I started and I've just been saving and saving and saving, but I also spend and spend and spend.
Mm-hmm.
So I do have a very substantial savings. But I was going to buy a house with my fiance. We were going to pay for a wedding and all these things. Yeah. And everything. We were going to buy his daughter a car and things like that. Yeah. But now I am single and I'm chilling. So I'm just going to, be stacking and until I decide what I'm supposed to do.
What path,
where I'm supposed to go.
Beautiful.
Yeah. But that's in God's hands. So
wherever God takes us.
Yeah. Clearly I can't make great decisions. So I'm like, okay, where do you want me to go?
But are you okay mentally? Like, how are you?
Mentally, I'm okay. I am okay. I allow myself to feel my feelings. Okay. I
Mhm.
cried so hard that Siri dialed 911.
What?
I didn't even know she did that. Okay.
How the fuck is Siri dialing 911?
I was in the car with my cousin after I had left, and I cried so hard that my phone fucking called the police because it thought I was in a car accident. Okay. I do not suppress what I go through. I
Yeah.
allow myself to process it. I journal every single day. I pray all the time. I look in the mirror, and instead of saying how I have acne or how I don't like this part or whatever, as I used to do,
Mhm.
I say, you are beautiful. You are kind. You are amazing. I love you, Sabrina. Thank you, Sabrina. I love you, Sabrina. Thank you, Sabrina. And I repeat it over and over and over and over again
Mhm.
because I have to reprogram my brain to understand that I don't deserve certain things that I have allowed myself to go through. I don't deserve certain treatment that I've had in the past. And I love myself and I deserve something good. So I'm on the journey of learning how to do that and not pick apart every single little thing that's imperfect with me. I'm learning all the little things that are exactly perfect because they're imperfect.
Period. You're
So-
literally, my tears like literally came down my face because for reals, someone needs to hear that, and whoever person needs to hear that, you'll just start bawling, girl, because
Yeah.
it shows them. It hits people, differently.
Well, I think one of the biggest things is your self-talk. Because I would look at myself in the mirror and I would be like, oh, your face is a little uneven, or this looks wrong, or this looks bad, or
Yeah.
you have fat there, or this is this, whatever. And I was my biggest bully and I saw everything wrong with myself.
Mhm.
So I started by not saying anything at all. I couldn't even really look at the mirror. And I'm a beautiful girl. I'm a beautiful
Gorgeous.
girl. But I
Period.
didn't feel that way at all. So I just didn't say anything until I was like, okay, I like your eyelashes. And it's uncomfortable to compliment yourself. It's uncomfortable to love yourself. It really is.
Sometimes it's even uncomfortable to look at yourself in the mirror.
It is.
I can't even look at myself in the mirror when I work out.
We don't even talk about that. We don't talk about that because everybody wants to put on this perfect persona, but you
Yes.
look at yourself and you fucking hate what you see.
Yes.
So you have to start by just being nice. Just don't say anything at all. Just be gentle until you can say a compliment. And then anytime you look in the mirror, you are gorgeous. You are whatever. And I am statements. Like I say them every single day, all the time. I am beautiful. I am strong. I am kind. I am worthy. I am whatever I need to work on because there are so many times that I didn't feel that. And you feel like a fucking fraud when you start it. I would cry because I'm like, no, I'm not. But the more you say it, the more you believe it. And that's really where you have to start with anything. Like I know this is a business podcast, but you will have imposter syndrome if you
For
don't believe
reals.
that you're worthy of what you have and you fucking fuck everything up because you don't think that you can have it. Or you think that you should overwork yourself. That's a form of self-abuse. Overworking
absolutely.
yourself. Oh, I'm on the grind. Okay. And you're exhausted all the time. You're not eating. I wouldn't eat all day and then I'd eat a box of pizza.
That was me.
How unhealthy. Oh, my bank account is this fat, but so am I.
Did you see what I told you earlier? I had to sleep with a heating pad.
Yeah. I'm 26 prematurely aging ourselves.
Do you hear me? Like, I know.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm at that point in my life where I don't want to kill myself. Like I don't want to
money.
From money. And I don't want to, age fast. I'm in my 20s. You're supposed to have the fucking best time of your life. But I'm over here. Yes, I'm grinding. Yes, I have a salon and everything. But I'm not spending the money I have on things I want to do because I'm always fucking working.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's the song by SZA, Good Days, which is like half of us.
Yes.
What is it? Spending something about
I know
like
what you're talking.
future,
Yeah.
about like I can't even remember, about chasing fountains of youth. Okay, half of us chasing fountains of youth while it's in the present. And I'm like, fuck, we always either live in the past or the future. But the current moment we don't live in. And we're always chasing the next thing or being stuck in the one before.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I have to learn. I don't have to do anything. If you have to do something, it's a chore. If you get to do something, it's a reward. I get to live in the now. I get to clean my room because I have a room to clean. I get to go to work because I have a job to go to. I get to fight with my family because I have a family to fight with. I get to go to the gym because I have a body that works. I don't have to do anything in my life. I get to do everything. And changing the words that you use completely changes your life. Completely changes your life. And I can attest to that because I did that. And these are the conversations I have with my clients. These are the things that I talk to people about because these are the things that matter because we don't know it.
Yeah.
We don't know it. We don't talk about this stuff. We just want to laugh things off or talk about what everyone else says. But what about the real that we're all feeling that nobody wants to talk about because you're vulnerable? Because you might seem like, oh, you don't have it all together. No, I don't have it all together, but
Girl,
I'm trying to get it together.
By a fucking thread. Yes.
I'm trying to get it together. And this is how I did it here. This is how I'm doing it. This is what's working. This is what I did. And I know you do it. And I know you do it. And I know you do it.
Yeah.
Because I do it. Or I did it. And I don't do that anymore. So mentally, I'm doing good.
Period. That was so fucking real. Do you hear that clap? Can we add a fucking clap emoji? So, I need to bring you back for season 4 because we need to have you back. But we're already over our time.
Sorry.
But no, it's okay. We'll bring you back for season 4. We always end this podcast with a quote. So go ahead and tell me your quote.
That dreams are not unattainable. They're just reality that hasn't happened. That's by me.
Oh, period.
Sabrina Espinosa. Naked Skin by Sabrina.
Well, thank you, Sabrina, for being on my podcast.
Thank you for having me.
And it was such a pleasure having you. And I hope to see you back for season 4. Thank you guys so much. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.